Basic Buddhism, the 10 Suchnesses, the reality of all existence. This teaching consists of 10 words prefaced by such a or such an. They are such an appearance, such a nature, such an embodiment, such a potential, such a function, such a cause, such a condition, such an effect, such a reward, and from the first to the last, such an ultimate identity. When we learn to view our world through this teaching, we begin to see the deepest reality of the existence of all things in the universe. Another name for the 10 Suchnesses is the reality of all existence. Modern science has analyzed physical substance to the extent of subatomic particles. However, the principle of the reality of all existence is even more profound because it extends to the mental world. Such an appearance. The existence of all things invariably has an appearance, as perceived by the 6 senses, that is, 5 senses plus the mind. Such a nature. That which has appearance invariably has a nature or intangible qualities. Such an embodiment. That which has a nature invariably has an embodiment or entity. Such a potential. That which has an embodiment invariably has potential energy, power, or ability. Such a function. When it has potential, it invariably produces function, energy in action, or activity. Such a cause. Innumerable embodied substances exist in the universe. For this reason, their outwardly directed functions are interrelated with all things. Nothing in the universe has an isolated existence. All things have relation to each other, sometimes a very complicated connection. Through this interdependence, their interactions cause various phenomena. Such a condition. Even when a cause exists, it does not produce its effect until it comes into contact with some occasion or condition. For instance, there is always vapor in the air as the cause of frost or dew. But if it has no condition that brings it into contact with the ground or the leaves of a plant, it does not become frost or dew. Such an effect. When a cause meets with a condition, this interaction produces a phenomenon or effect. Such a reward. An effect not only produces a phenomenon, but also invariably leaves some trace or impression. For example, the effect of frost forming will give a pleasant feeling to someone who enjoys the pattern that it makes on the window panes, while the same effect will give an unpleasant feeling to someone whose crops have been damaged. The function of an effect leaving a trace or impression is called such a reward. Another example of cause, condition, effect, and reward could be seen in a simple action. Suppose you are waiting in a crowd of people and you notice that the person next to you has a very sad look on her face. After a while, without any desire for reward or recognition, you make eye contact with this person and you smile at her. She returns the smile, and for that moment she is no longer sad. She sees kindness in your face and feels a connection once again to others. You also feel the connection and it refreshes your outlook. it will be helpful to explain cause, condition, effect, and reward in more detail. Suppose during a shopping trip, a cashier makes a mistake and gives you too much change. Upon discovering the error, you return the excess amount, pointing out the error. This action has saved the cashier from a possible reprimand and possibly the loss of money, as they would have to make up the shortage in the receipts. Upon leaving the store, you think, I have done something good. This is reward. This reward comes from one's mind and from outside. The former one comes first to her, and it is the most important reward. Such an ultimate identity equals to emptiness, oneness, sunyata, or void. The 9 suchnesses occur continuously in society and in the universe as a whole. They are interconnected in a complex web so that in most cases we cannot discern what is a cause and what is an effect. But these suchnesses never fail to operate according to the law of universal truth, and no one, nothing, and no function can depart from this truth. Everything functions according to this from appearance to reward, from beginning to end. This is the meaning of from the first to the last, such an ultimate identity. Shakyamuni Buddha expounded this rule through the doctrine of the 12-link chain of causation, or dependent origination, meaning that all phenomena are produced and extinguished by causation. This term indicates that a thing arises from or is produced because of a condition. Nothing makes an appearance unless there is an appropriate condition. This truth applies to all existence and phenomena in the universe. The Buddha intuitively perceived this so deeply that even modern science has found nothing to contradict this teaching. When the conditions change, the substances produced change and create another appearance. When water comes into contact with a high temperature as a condition, it evaporates. When vapor comes into contact with cold air as a condition, it condenses and forms a cloud. Events and functions of the mind are similar. Everything follows this rule. Because this law explains how all things work, not only objects of the physical world like human beings, but also ideas and issues of the mental world such as our relationship with one another, it is called the principle of the reality of all existence. As you can easily recognize, this is a detailed analysis of the universal law of causation that you previously learned. If you need a refresher on the law of causation, please click on the link. Nature is very important in this teaching. It represents the heart and mind. We are a composite of the first 5 suchnesses. When we interact with each other, our natures are a key element. The 10 suchnesses, reality of all existence.